Garden, and welcome to another reading lesson. Today we're going to continue to dive into the text of farm animals. In an earlier lesson, we practiced answering questions about the text Rap-a-Tap-Tap. And today we're going to be practicing again using the text farm animals so that we can learn more about a new topic. And in many informational texts, the pictures can help you find where to look for the answer to a question. So our reading thinking job today is I can answer questions about key details in a text. The more questions we ask throughout a text, the more we can better understand what we're reading about. Today, we're going to be using question words like who, what, where, when, why, and how. And we're going to be looking for those key details in the text farm animals, as key details are important parts of the story. To get to our reading thinking job of I can answer questions based on key details in a text, our reading thinking steps are: step one, we're going to say the question in our own words. So I'm going to ask you a question, and then step two, we're going to think where can we look for the answer, and then we're going to spend a lot of time with step three by looking for the answer using the pictures and the words in the text. So step one, the first question I have is, how is this text organized? Before we look at the words and the pictures, where can we find the answer? In the text farm animals, we can find the answer in the text farm animals. As you see, I have some of the pages from the text on the screen. Your teacher is going to pause the video and you guys are going to talk about how we can answer the question, how is this text organized? Your teacher is also going to talk about the word organized and what that means. Well, first, let's talk about that word organized. Your teachers went over the word organized as being neat and tidy and being able to go to something and know where your things are. So for example, you all have things either in a basket at your classroom, or you might have toys in a toy box at your home, and you can stay organized by keeping all of your toys in your toy box nice and neat, or all of your materials in your basket in your classroom. So the author organized the text for farm animals by making sure there was one farm animal on each page. So each page in the book tells about a different farm animal. So we have pages all about a duck, we have pages all about a goat, we have pages all about a cat, and all about the goose. They also organize these pages by putting headings. You might have talked about the headings on top of the pages. Remember, some informational texts may have headings to let us know what the pages are going to be mostly about. My next question, where in the text can we find information about goats? And how do you know? Your teacher's going to pause the video and talk about where in the text can you find the information about goats, and how do you know? Were you able to find the pages of the goat on the screen? I'm sure you noticed that this is the page all about goats, and you were able to know where to find that text because this is the picture of the goats, and the word goat, just like we talked about before, the heading says goat. So that helps us know where to find the information about goat as it says goat, and there's a picture of goats. What special body parts do the animals on these pages have? And what sounds do they make? Your teacher's going to pause the video And you're going to talk about what special body parts do the animals have on these pages and what sounds do they make? Well, let's start with the goat. What special body part did you talk about the goats? Well, I know when I look at the pictures, I see the goats have these curved shapes at the top of the goat's head. If I go back to the words, it says, I have a beard and horns. And that tells me that these are horns. So special body parts of goats are horns and beards. They have a little fluff on the bottom of their chin. Do you know the sound of a goat? Bleat, bleat, bleat. It says it right on the page if you were wondering what the sound was. Let's talk about the duck. What special body part on the duck do you notice? I notice the feet and the beak. And if I go back to the words, the last sentence says, I splash all day with my wings and feet. I was able to use the pictures and the words to help me pull out those key details to answer the question, what special body parts does a duck have? Webbed feet and a beak. What sound does a duck make? Quack, quack. Let's talk about the cat. What special body part does the cat have? If you have a cat, you know cats have claws. We're able to see some of the claws in the picture, which means I should go back to the words to make sure that this is a special body part. I wash my paws, but when nighttime comes, I sharpen my claws. I would say claws are a special body part because claws help the cat protect himself. What sound does a cat make? Meow, meow. Let's talk about this goose. Let's talk about this goose. What special body part does a goose have? I don't know about you, but this beak is pretty special as it makes a honk, honk sound. This informational text, there's a fun quiz at the end. So a quiz means it's full of questions. So it's all about our reading thinking job today. So we're going to answer the question 9 in the quiz, which says, what does a billy goat have on his head? And what details in the text make you think that? I'm going to pause the video and let me put that page up for you. What does a billy goat have on his head? And what details in the text make you think that? Did you say that a billy goat has horns on the top of his head? You're right. We did that work earlier by looking at the details of this page and answering that question. The details on the page show the horns, and if we go back to the words, it says in the first sentence, I have a beard and horns. We're going to answer question 12. What does a goose eat? What details in the text make you think that? Your teacher's going to pause the video. Did you say geese eat grass? You're right. The great thing about this informational text, not only does it give us the pictures to help us with finding the detail and the words with the heading, it also gives us a did you know box and gives us a little bit more detail about the animal. And that's where we were able to find this detail of geese eat grass. They pull it up with their strong beaks. Great job. Today in Seesaw, you're going to be looking at the pictures about the duck. How do ducks keep dry? You're going to circle a detail on these pages of the text farm animals that tells you how you know. Bye, Kipsters.